All right, we are here with our Wednesday math video, and we are going to be talking about counting to 100 and using a hundreds chart. So, I think we're going to jump right in. We're also going to be focusing on a couple of key phrases that you're going to see throughout this page that when you get to, we want you to know how to use those phrases appropriately. Let's start with this sentence right here. Use the words before and after to help you find the numbers. Okay. So this example says 1 before 66 is blank. So before means it's smaller. It comes before that number. So I might look for 66 on my hundreds chart. Woo, there it is.
Okay.
And if I'm doing one before 66, it's going to come first before it, which is one ahead of it, one before it, 65.
When you say one before, you really mean one number smaller than 66.
I do. One number smaller.
Okay.
I count back.
All right.
Yeah.
So we found out that that was going to be 65.
Yes. All right. And the opposite of that would be a number after, which means I'm getting bigger.
Okay. So after means a bigger number than 66, but only one bigger.
One bigger.
Okay.
So I'm going to find 66 again. One after, I'm getting bigger, is 67.
Is 67. Okay.
Yeah, and then the only other kind of different thing is counting on and counting back. You're going to see this not only on the front, but also on the back of your page, which you guys are going to do entirely on your own today, because if you pay attention to this section, you're going to totally understand the back as well. Just make sure you read the directions.
All the answers are right here on this chart.
Yes.
All right.
So this says count on from 66.
Ooh, okay.
Counting on is like when we did addition and we would go up. We would count up, count on.
So we're going to count up from
66.
66.
So you can see the number they give us is over here on the left, and then we have 3 blanks on the right. We're going to count on, we're going to go higher.
It's kind of like when we put one number in our head with addition and we keep counting.
On.
So 66 is in my head, then we're going to go
67, 68, 69. And you can see the same thing on our hundreds chart over here, 66. If I count on, 67, 68, 69.
Okay.
And then the final thing is counting back, which is the opposite.
Ooh.
So if I'm counting back, I'm going to get smaller, I'm going to go down, and I'm going to go to the left on my hundreds chart.
This gets a little bit tricky.
It does.
Okay. So if I put 66 in my head, I'm kind of trying to figure out the smaller numbers that come before that. So 66 and then 65.
I'm going to go back on the hundreds chart.
Okay.
And then one more back, which is 64. And then one more back, which is 63.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can do that because the hundreds chart is right in front of me.
Yep.
Maybe we could take a look at what they need to do on the practice questions. All right, so we have a few different problems that we need to take a look at, and it's a combination of everything that we just practiced up above. So to begin with, it says to write the numbers. So number 1 says 1 before 12 is, well, you can either do that from your memory if you know when you're counting what number comes right before 12. You could use a number line, or you can take a look back at your hundreds chart and you're going to find that the number before 12 is 11. So you can put a number, the number 11 on the line. They can do the same thing, but you know what? This is a tricky one.
Ooh.
Because 1 after 70, would you mind pulling that hundreds chart down
Can you
a
erase
little
that
bit?
so it doesn't get confusing?
I don't want to confuse everybody on this one, but
Yeah.
if you take a look at the hundreds chart, look where the number 70 is.
It's at the end.
Uh-oh.
I can't count after. There's nothing here on the other side of 70. But I have to go
So-
one after.
We do. So I'm going to give you a trick. Because there's not a number after, we actually need to go all the way to the next row. We're going to look at the first number on the next row which is 71. And that makes sense because when I'm counting, I say 70, 71, 72, and I go in order. So don't let the end of the hundreds chart trick you. Just go to the next row. So our answer for here, number 2, 1 after 70 is going to be 71.
Yeah. All right, and then down at the bottom, you have more counting on and counting back problems. Let's take a look at number 5. It says count on from 23, write the missing numbers. And you can see they started at 23 and they're going to count on and get higher, so the blanks are after 23. Which means, again, you could use your counting on in your head method.
23 in your head, 24, 25, 26.
Or you could go up to the hundreds chart and find 23 and then look at what's after that and then after that.
Wow,
Yeah.
so a couple different ways to get the answers.
Yeah.
This is going to be really good practice for when we get into some harder math later this school year.
Let's check out that very last one on the bottom, which is to count back. So number 6 says count back from 87. They still put 87 at the beginning, but they want us to count back or down.
Cool.
So now we're going to put 85 in our head.
87.
87, thank you, not 85. 87 in your head, and you're going to think about what comes right before 87.
It's kind of like I need to jump backwards on my number line. So it's really going to be 86.
86. And then 1 before 86 is
85.
Yeah, you're just taking 1 away.
And then 84.
You could also go up to your hundreds chart and start at 87 and then hop backwards and figure it out that way.
So paying attention to the directions, like count back, count on, that's going to be really important, because if you're only just looking at this and trying to fill in numbers, they might accidentally go 80
up instead of
89,
down.
and that's not what the directions ask. So paying attention carefully to those directions will get you the right answer.